Hey, welcome to week 4. Just give you a quick warning here. So I'm in my office right now, and they seem to be doing some construction here on the floor above. So it might get a little loud. So I'm going to try my best to go through this quickly, and I might have to raise my voice as I start to drill. I promise you I'm not screaming at you. I just want to make sure you can hear this. So before we go into week 4, let me just do a quick review of some of the things that you did in the last couple weeks, or last week, and that was leads. I want to let you guys verbalize something that I saw a few of you doing, and I want to make sure that we really understand it. That is, you don't put names in the lead unless it's of someone of prominence, or it's like celebrity. So what I mean by that is, I'm just gonna think of a quick example here. If Will Ferrell gets arrested for drunk driving, you could say in the lead, actor Will Ferrell has been arrested for drunk driving after his premiere movie in Hollywood. And that's okay because most people know who Will Ferrell is. That's kind of the big part of the story, that it's Will Ferrell who got arrested. So you can put that name in the lead. Now, however, if it's just Joe Schmo, some guy who nobody really knows, you're not going to put Joe Schmo was arrested for drunk driving after he left the bar. You might say, I think your book describes it as like another modifier. So maybe his age, maybe location. So a 22-year-old man was arrested after leaving the bar after being caught for drunk driving. Or you would say, a Hartford man was arrested after drunk driving leaving a bar, right? So, and then in the nut graph, which I like is usually like the second paragraph, but as the book said, you can do it as the third maybe, or even fourth. But in the nut graph, that's where you would say the name and more details. So a Hartford man was arrested for drunk driving, and then in the nut graph, Joe Schmo, a 22-year-old who lives on whatever Beacon Street, was arrested for drunk driving after he crashed into a tree, and that's where you do more of the details. So the lead, you're only putting a name in if it's someone that most people know. In where a lot of you guys struggled was in the quiz, where I think, and I forget the name I had for her, I think it was Mary Smith. Mary Smith winning the award for 20 years of service. You're not going to put her name in the lead because most people don't know who Mary Smith is. So you would use another modifier. One you could have done is a Hartford Hospital nurse won a Lifetime Achievement Award for never missing a day of work in 20 years. Then in the nut graph, Mary Smith, who has worked for 20 years, received the award from the Hartford Hospital Association. I don't remember all my details that I put in now, but you get the point here. You don't put her name in the lead. She's not a person of prominence. If it was maybe like the governor, then you would say the governors, you would put that person's name in the lead. So it would be for Connecticut Governor Daniel Malloy received an achievement award because, again, that's a person of prominence. Most people in Connecticut at least should know who that is. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. Something else that I noticed, and this one I threw at you, was a little bit of a tricky. Remember, everything is written in past tense. So if it's a day that something happened, you never write today. So for example, for your hard news stories, if you're going out and you cover an event and it's on a Tuesday, and then you write it on Tuesday, you don't say today and then you say whatever the event was. You say on Tuesday. So it doesn't matter when you write the event or when you write your story, even if it's the same day as the event, even if it's being published in the newspaper on the same day, you always write it in past tense. So it happened on Tuesday because somebody might read that 3 days from now, a week from now, 10 years from now, now that everything's online. So you always write the day. So you could write the date or on Tuesday, but you never write today in writing. I want to tell you, review these because remember, you should be applying this to your hard news story that you are writing this week, or maybe have already started to write. So, that's something I'm going to be looking for in your leads. Are you following those rules? And that also kind of brings me back to those quizzes that I give you. Yes, part of it is obviously make sure that you're doing the reading and help you absorb that information and feel. I can see that you're confident, that you're understanding the lessons. But another piece of it is it's kind of like a study guide for you. Those questions I put are usually the ones I feel are very important for you to know and in your writing. So go back to those quizzes, take a look at them, make sure that you're applying what's in those quizzes, of course the right answers, right? But what's in those quizzes to your writing assignment, to your hard news story. Obviously you're trying to apply everything that you're reading in the chapter, but at the very least, you should be applying what's in those quizzes because those are like notes for you basically. I'm pretty much giving you some study guides to then use in your writing assignment. So go back, take a look at those, take a look at the exercises, take a look at all my feedback. I give you feedback, especially on the exercises, but even on the quizzes on some questions. But take a look at my feedback. Apply that to your writing assignment. It shouldn't just be a one and done. You did it, you never look at it again. That's there for you. That's the nice thing even about this online class, taking something online. That's there for you to go back, review the notes, and then apply it to this writing assignment, and you'll see your grade improve if you really execute that. So let's talk about this week. First thing, AP style. AP style. This week is a little bit different. You're not going to be doing your book. You're not going to be reading a chapter in your book. They didn't really have a good chapter. They didn't really have this in the book, so kind of going rogue here. So no book this week, and I'm going to be introducing you to AP style. AP style stands for Associated Press style. Think of it as, a lot of you probably know MLA style or maybe Chicago style. It's a formalized way of writing. It's a way that you write words, punctuation. It's kind of like a guide. And journalists, people that write in the media, public relations professionals, communication professionals, they use AP style. This way, if you're a journalist, you can bounce from one outlet to the other and just pick up right where you left off. Everybody comes in knowing a certain way to write. It kind of helps uniformity in the news organizations, so it's not like everybody's writing in a different style. It's a guide. It's a guide that communication professionals use. Not every single outlet. I'll kind of just go a little bit sidebar here. Not every single outlet uses AP style. Like the New York Times does not, Wall Street Journal does not, but most do. The Hartford Courant, Washington Post, most will use AP style, Associated Press, because that's their guide. This is AP style. As you can see, it's a huge book. Almost everything is covered. Any words you can think of, ways to write things, are covered in this book. Even I have to go back and reference this all the time. You're not going to be obviously learning this book in a week. What I've done for you is given you just AP most bare bones 101. The things that I think that you just really need to know to start to being exposed to AP style. So that's what you're going to be learning this week. I'm going to show you where you're going to learn that. We'll get to that in a second. You're going to take a quiz and complete the exercise. You guys are used to that. You're going to finish your hard news story. As you should know, you have your hard news story due at the end of this week. So you hopefully have already reported on it and started writing. If not, you're doing that in the next couple of days. And this has to be written by the end of the week. And you're going to edit for AP style, which we'll get to in a second. And can, as always, continue to read news stories. So let's talk about what you're going to be learning for AP style. I have this link here, and it will bring you to this. This is kind of like a little guide that I made you. You have a more formal one online here that you can click on, and this gives you even more, not as much as the book, but this even gives you more AP style. But this is really what I'm going to be grading on, and this is really what I want you to learn. These few that I have here: how you write names, how you do titles, how you do quotes, how you write a location. On each one, I give you one example, so hopefully you kind of see it being written out, how it's used. What I think is probably the best thing to do is first go through all these. I know you're not going to learn them all right away the first time you read through, but go through all these, look at the example, and just try to make some connections. Maybe even practice writing one on your own. And just start to be exposed to these very basic AP style ones that I have out here. After you feel pretty good with that, then you can go do the homework. So what we got for the homework is you have a quiz here. And unlike your other quizzes, there's no time limit on this. You can only take it once. You still got one shot. So once you start it, you have to complete it. But I don't have a time limit for you. Because what I really want it to be is a practice. I want you to take the time to go back here, make sure you really feel comfortable with your answer, and then practice basically AP style. So I don't want you to feel that time constraint. I want you to take as much time as you think you need and to be learning doing this. After you've done your quiz too, then you be ready for the next one, which will be the exercise. The exercise is a document here. So each one of these has AP errors. Some of them are, some words or way things are done are correct, but there's also errors in each one. So you're going to go through, fix the errors. So write a sentence, write the correct one below it. Do that for each one. Write it using a proper AP style. And after you've done that, save your document, with your changes, and then you're going to submit it. Browse computer, find your file, and submit it. And that's going to be your exercise for this week. So again, it's not in the book, it's another one, but again, hopefully it's helping you learn AP style. All of this is just to help you practice. And then, of course, you've got your hard news story due, which you've already should have started, but your hard news story is due at the end of the week. You're also going to have to edit it for AP style. So you probably won't be able to submit this until the end of the week because you're going to need to, once you feel like you, when I say master, I know you're not going to master the AP style, but once you feel like pretty confident with your AP style doing these two, then you can edit your own hard news story for AP style. I will be grading on it. I mean, you are going to lose some points if AP style isn't executed well. Of course, I'm going to be a little bit more lenient on this one and then future ones because I know this is your first go at it for AP style. So I will be a little bit more lenient, but I'm going to be making sure that you at least, that you didn't miss the very basic, obvious ones. There's, the ones that I have here in my guide for you. If I can tell that you completely just disregarded them, then I'm going to see that you missed a few. Of course, if you I'm getting way too technical here. Point is, practice AP style. Make sure that you try to edit to your best ability your hard news story for AP style, and that's going to take you some time. That's a little bit of work, but that's part of your grade here too. That's what you got for this week. So, any questions for that hard news story, please message me early. I won't be able to get to you on the weekend. I got a really busy weekend coming up, so I won't be able to get to you on the weekend. But that's why I'd like you, if you have any questions, ask me earlier than later. I want to try to get everything answered for you. This first hard news story, you're going to struggle with. It's a learning experience. You're going to struggle with. So you don't feel like I'm expecting you to be experts, but it is going to take you time. I'm telling you right now, it's going to take you some time if you haven't already figured it out. It's going to take you a lot of time. So make sure you manage your week here because I want you to be able to, if you do struggle, be able to ask me some questions so you don't feel like you're completely isolated on this. You guys are doing a great job. Quizzes look great. Exercises, I can tell you putting a lot of effort into it. Great job with that. Keep it up. Really looking forward to reading these hard news stories, and good luck. Hope you have some fun with it.